Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, 87CYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airwaves with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. The crossband repeater that puts out images of and pause for a second here. Please with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society checked in totally. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Again, I'm Dave, 87CYM. We'd like to thank the owner and operators of the 08 machine, the CTAC Repeater Association, for allowing us to use the 08 machine for our voice transmissions during our video cast. Also, you can Google WW7ATS, Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our home page. There you'll see the frequencies we operate on, and there's a link to our streaming on YouTube for our net sales on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So with that, our pause in case anybody has emergency traffic and needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, 87CYM. Hearing on, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 repeater. 147.08. CTAC Repeater Association's repeater WW7ATS. So far, checked in via video is Ron, 87QKU, Richard, 87ICX, Ken, N7QO, and myself, Dave, 87CYM. Is there anybody else who would like to check in? Well, what we see is what there is. That's the Ron, 87QKU.
Okay, well, good evening, guys. And thanks, Dave. This is KD7QKU over in Tacoma. Well, let's see. Yesterday I got my COVID booster. I got Moderna. I had had Pfizer before that for 3 shots, and then yesterday I got the Moderna. I got up this morning with a kind of a sore left shoulder arm, and I felt pretty crummy all day, so I didn't do anything really. Mostly sat in the recliner and slept and watched whatever was on. I tried to watch it, so it's been pretty quiet over here. Joanne's been out in the kitchen. We're having a few guests for dinner tomorrow for Easter. Last time I looked, she was making deviled eggs, so I know we're having ham, and I don't know what else. She wasn't going to go to a big lot of trouble, I didn't think, but I don't know. She gets started, she can't stop. So it's 41 degrees here, and I see some fresh raindrops on my window. Anyway, so I guess back to that, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. I see Lee, N7KC is showing up too. Let's go to Port Angeles to Lee, N7KC. And again, I'll try Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Connected, N7KC.
N7KC, not getting any audio from you. How about now? Okay, very good. well. They kind of surprised to come in a few minutes late and get that on, and my phone didn't seem to be cooperating there. Well, good evening, guys. And hi, Jim, Covington Jim, I call him. Good to see you tonight. I don't know what to say. Our weather's been pretty iffy over here. Really goofy. Cold. We've had more wood fires this last week than we had all winter, I think. Anyway, I don't have anything to report really. Here we are. My gosh. Just marching through April like nothing, you know. We didn't have a weather net today because of the oak and so forth, so I had a day off. That was kind of fun this morning. Let's see, that's about it from here for this round, Dave. I have to find out what other people are thinking, jot something down. Thank you. This is 7KC. Leland Fernandez, great day. 7KC, thanks for that. It's pretty wicked and check. P7ITX. And also the net acknowledges James, WW7M is checked in.
That would be Richard and Mika. So, yeah, the Mika is sound asleep. So, yeah, good to see everybody tonight. Well, good job, Lee. Just pop right in and pop right onto the net. That was very impressive. And then, yeah, sorry about any of you guys. Ron, you're kind of suffering a little bit, or I don't know if it's suffering or you're just tired from your booster. So Debbie had the booster yesterday, and well, not yet. Was it yesterday? Or was it 2 days ago? But yeah, because she's been having after effects for a couple days now. I guess it would be really early Friday morning. She, had the typical achy muscles and chills. And then this morning she woke up and her arm where she got the shot was still real sore. So, I just don't recall having any of those issues for myself, so I feel sorry for you guys. I did go into I got poked by a needle today for a blood draw, and it just never ceases to amaze me. It shouldn't be that complicated, but I don't know. Sometimes I kind of wonder about some of the people that have been hired to operate the laboratories that suck your veins full of blood, they fill their test tubes full of blood. So maybe I'll touch on that a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot better things to talk about. Next round I'll talk about what I plan on cooking up for Easter. With that, KD7ZYM, K7ITX, back to net control. K7ITX is good at jet, M7QO. M7QO. Thank you, Dave, and good evening, everyone. Well, Dick, yeah, I can identify with that. One thing that surprises me is that there are so many people, new people drawing blood or for that matter, even assisting doctors nowadays. The turnover in the medical industry seems to be great. Perhaps they're not really coming and going. Maybe they're just going from one place to another place, but I prefer to have someone whom I've seen puncture my arm in the past attempt to do it again, rather than someone with whom I am totally unfamiliar. So I feel for you, guy. Lee, yeah, I was thinking about you this morning. I
I saw on the television, they showed, or was it last night? I don't know. Well, let's see, I slept since then, so it must have been last night. Well, I slept during the day, too. I don't know. Anyway, within the past 24 hours, I saw they were showing snow coming down on the east side of Port Angeles. I'm not sure exactly where you are. It looked like, yeah, it looked like the airport, pretty much east of the airport. You may have been right on the fringe, I don't know, but I was thinking about that. Where do I want to move? Well, I don't want to move where it snows. On the other hand, I have some neighbors who are down in Tucson right now, and they were there last year as well, and I actually saw snow on a cactus in Tucson. My goodness, how do we escape this? But let's see, I've got reset. So we had a couple of periods of hail falling here in Covington. Pea-sized hail. Made quite a racket on one of the metal chimneys which I have. And not a whole lot of precipitation, not a whole lot of rain. The rain that fell was rather light. It's not raining here now, and I've got 41 degrees. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
And 7QO, let's go to James, WW7N in Bellevue.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Let's see, I put about 25 watts in and totally messing up my ATV monitor in the shack here. How's my audio? Okay. Let's melt that coax tonight. Well, Ron, sorry you're having a response from the COVID booster, but I guess it's good to get one if you need one. Let's see, happy Easter to everybody. I guess tomorrow's Easter. Yesterday was Good Friday. I know someone smiled today by saying, that was probably the most career-altering move of any two military professionals, was the two guys that were supposed to guard the tomb. Could you just imagine that? The sergeant's like talking to him in the morning. All you had to do is stand here and make sure the rock didn't move. What is the problem here? But, well, anyways, I have to say this. Someone once told me the phlebotomist model there is in the chat there. Let's see, snow. I actually had flakes of snow coming down today. I think it was Friday. I had ice pellets falling down in my house very briefly. Let's see, today the major exciting event is my neighbor's son. He does these kind of do-it-yourself projects and kind of, let's just say he tackles things with wild abandon until suddenly he gets to the point where he sort of like holds up one end of the garage door with one hand, and then he manages to text me and said he needed a socket set and also someone to make sure the garage door didn't crush the life out of him. Two minor things I could help with, but it is a good neighbor. I like having him, but it is kind of amusing sometimes. Well, with that, let's see. I don't think there's anything else too much exciting going on around here. Reminder to everybody, this is a good time of the year that if anything has metal on it, you want to either paint it or coat it with a light coat of oil. I was wondering, really, right there up on the coast, I don't know if you have problems with corrosion on metal. But the sockets that I learned today, I noticed some of the sockets were rusting already. It's just amazing. And it's just rust here, how moisture is and everything. And just corroding stuff if you don't stay on it. With that, this is James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. Let me turn back to our net control base. Take it away, Dave.
Thanks for that, James. That's WW7N. This is Dave, 87ZYN, Lake City. And it's time for ID again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and on the 08 machine. That out of the way. In Lake City, I got 44 degrees, and somehow I missed the rain today. It didn't seem to materialize here in Lake City. We're kind of in the middle of a convergence zone, but I guess it didn't converge. Let's see. As far as the weekend goes, I was going to get together with my daughter for a little festivities on Sunday, but however, my son-in-law came down with COVID.
booster shot Thursday, and I did experience a sore arm, and it's still a little bit tender. But that's about it, and accompanied by a little bit of chills. So it could be the weather. I got the chills after I went outside just for my mail in the mailbox. So it was a brief bit of exposure out there without a coat on and just a sweater. So that's probably where the chill factor came from. So that's about it here from Lake City. This is Dave, 87ZYM. So let's go back up to the top of the list to Ron, 87QKU.
Okay, thank you, Dave. KD7QKU here. Well, Richard, I'm sorry to hear that Debbie isn't feeling very good. Sounds like she's worse than I am. I just felt crummy. I didn't have chills or anything, I don't think. And this is a big weekend in the whole world. You know, I mean, it's Easter and it's Passover and it's Ramadan, I think. So there's a lot of celebrations going on. Man, one day this week it snowed here all morning until noon. I don't know what day it was. It was unbelievable. The ground never really got white. You can see it in the grass and not on the street. And it wasn't until after lunch that it finally quit. And cold, my goodness. There's a few things I want to do outside, but I just can't bring myself to do them. They're not that important, I guess. A while back, I sprayed some weed killer on the weeds around, and I spilled it, and I must have walked in it. And then I walked across the lawn, and so now you can see my footprints across the lawn. It's all dying, which is too bad because I've been working hard trying to get that back lawn to look good. Half of my yard back is old grass, and half of it is new sod. I walked on the old grass, I guess. But yeah, the footprints are getting browner and browner every day now. My front lawn, I fertilized it a couple of times and I put moss killer on it, but it just doesn't want to grow. The last time I fertilized it, I think we had 5 inches of rain after that, so I think it washed it all away, so I'm going to try it again here maybe this week. But that's my baby. I wonder how Richard's grass is doing. He had his front yard all thatched and tore up and reseeded. One of the neighbors here, we went for a walk. I guess it was last night. Joanne just insisted that I go for a walk. It was after dinner. It was about 7 o'clock. Oh, I did not feel like going for a walk, but okay, I finally went. And one of the neighbors around the corner had done the same thing as Richard. Someone come in and tore their lawn up, and they had dirt and everything on it, some grass. And the moon was out. Oh my goodness, was the moon out. With this beautiful full moon in the east. As we walked around and looked at it, it was really pretty. So that's about all I got over here in Tacoma. So back to that, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. It's been out for one of our elder members, N7KC, and happy birthday. Well, that's fine, Dave. Thank you for that. N7KC here in Fort Angeles. Yeah, I crossed the 81 mark here on Thursday. And, but Ron is still leading the pack, you know. He's out there charging ahead. Sorry, Ron, that you feel for sure. Paul and I both got 2 arms from the booster, but not having more than that. I call them when you're born, you need a control. I need a control lead. Something that doesn't get touched so I can really measure myself against something, you know. You never know. But anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. Now, phlebotomy-wise, Paula was a laboratorian. She was a medical technologist and so forth. And so she was involved in phlebotomy. And I remember when she was in school and going through that, and it was really a frightful experience. Well, I'll tell you, those people that do that, it is true. They have to go to a short school to be a phlebotomist, you know, a laboratory helper like that. And they can do it after, I don't know how long it is, not very long really, but they learn the tricks and all that sort of thing. And actually the truth is, if they miss you twice, they're supposed to call for a supervisor. I think there's a medical rule about that a doctor or somebody really experienced has to come and do it if they miss you twice. So keep that in mind. The other thing was, yes, all of that, and talking to a gal who was right in with our trailers over there by Walmart on the east side of Port Angeles. And they had a lot of snow on the ground today, but we did not have anything right here. It was cold enough and it was good enough. And today was dark. Yesterday, we had a cloud over us. The incoming solar here at our location is typically about the internet time in the morning, around 250 to 300 watts per meter squared. Yesterday morning, it was 6. It was 7, then dropped to 6, then back to 7. I thought something was going to happen, boy. It really looked mean, and it was dark. Heavy dark cloud over it. And by golly, we ended on, and then finally went over and went to swim. Oh, I just out of time. Yeah, and the booster, I'll say quickly, the booster didn't already did. Okay, Dave, back to you. It's 7 KC, Port Angeles.
And 7 KC, thanks for that. And this IP time, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. And I'll add, is there anybody else who would like to join the net this evening? Doing that, let's do the 10, N720.
Did you mean Dick?
Yes, I did. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, well, that's fine with me. So, let's see. I've talked enough about and complained enough about getting my blood drawn, but I did happen to notice a little spot in my arm where they did it, and normally I have no spot, so, and I'm not sure what you meant by miss, Lee, meaning like miss your vein twice in a row. Now, I've had them poke, well, it wasn't for blood draw. This was when I was in college, and it was for, what do you sell? Blood plasma. I was selling my blood plasma, that's right. And whoever was poking the needle in me went completely through the vein, completely. Boy, that was a giant bruise. So I'm kind of curious what he meant by miss. Next time, if you can remember to answer that question. And Ron, I too noticed the significance of Passover and Easter. Now, evidently, it doesn't always coincide, but it happens to this year. Now, you're still in Ramadan. Now, I don't know about that one, because I did hear that there was, maybe 5 or 6 years ago when it was very significant, when they had Passover, Easter, and Ramadan all at the same time. And the significance was it was the most peaceful time in Jerusalem, as opposed to right now where there's been rock throwing and kids fighting with the police and that sort of thing. So anyway, that's just kind of a interesting historical significance and weird state of the calendar and timing. And as far as dinner, tomorrow, the mother-in-law had her heart set on ham and scalloped potatoes. I guess that's a traditional Easter meal. I don't pay that close attention. I just eat what they put in front of me. But I'm
kind of burned out on ham and potatoes. To be quite honest, it's one of my favorite meals, and so I've been eating it a little bit more frequently than normal. And now the last thing I want is to have a big dinner of that, especially if I'm doing the cooking. So I don't think they're going to complain about my barbecue tenderloin steaks and barbecue smoked salmon. They can complain about that, not having ham and potatoes. That's fine with me. So with that, but I will say Happy Easter. KB70AM, K7ITX, back to net control.
Thanks for that, Richard. Now we can go to Jen, M7QO. My eyes seem to be focusing again on the list.
M7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Dick, you had me going there for a few minutes. I was thinking, okay, they can do the ham and just order a pizza or something. That would suit me just fine, actually. But, and yeah, talking about someone sticking you with that knee, man, that hurts just to think about that. Ouch. Wow. So for everyone who got a booster out there, sorry about that. Hang in there, guys. I have been unable to get a second booster. I'm having some problems. My first two vaccinations were with the Pfizer, and I experienced a reaction to that. So I was told that I should not be boosted with an mRNA vaccine. So he said that I should get a booster from the Johnson & Johnson. So that's what I did. And guess what? The CDC says that a second booster using Johnson & Johnson is not authorized. So I can't do that, I guess. And if I'm not going to do the mRNA vaccine, I don't know. I'm kind of in a pickle here unless someone comes up with a better idea. I sure don't want to keep wearing a mask as a precaution, but I may kind of be stuck with that until things calm down a little bit more. I think it'll get a little better now in the next couple of weeks. I was worried it might get worse, and it has just barely moved up, but maybe later this year. I'm really concerned if they reset. I'm really concerned if they decide to go with an annual thing, which is what I suspect, and perhaps using an mRNA vaccine. It's like, okay, guys, what do I do? No one has an answer for me on that yet. I contacted the State Department of Health. I contacted the CDC. I contacted this new COVID.gov hotline, and no one can tell me anything, so I'm not sure what to do. Let's see. Lee, happy birthday, and happy Easter to everyone. And let's see. Ron, usually if I do something wrong, I blame it on someone's pet, not necessarily even my own pet, but when you leave human footprints along the grass, it's kind of hard to say the dog did it. So, oh well, sorry guy, your yard guy might give you a tongue lashing, but say la vie. Anyway, back to you, Dave, on 7QO.
Yeah, 7QO, let's do it again. WW7ATS.
Well, getting back to Lee's comment, I've always felt like that Stallone would be great also for spare parts, and then finally they made a movie about it called The Island. So if you ever want to see a movie, it's early 2000s. Scarlett Johansson, I think, was in it. It's a good movie, it's got a point, and it's got a surprise ending.
Passover and Easter, yeah, they both started on Friday, yesterday, I guess. Ramadan started sunset April 2nd. So, yeah, they are actually all going on since, of course, it's a lunar month for Ramadan. And Jerusalem, okay, so, yeah, this has always tickled me. It's the focal city for three major world religions that all profess peace and wisdom and temperance. So, of course, we have to, fight about which one is best. And in that city, there's constant wanted violence going on. Come on, there's a little irony in there, isn't there? Okay, well, Jim, I have no answer for your COVID shot dilemma, but I have been experimenting with, a COVID vaccine that I mix up here at home. It's orally administered, and it happens, I just mix it up in a Trader Joe's Scotch bottle, so you could always come over and I could give you one of those. Unfortunately, I do have to charge cash. I can't bill your insurance for it. But it's guaranteed to make you feel better. Even if you do, of course, the vaccine can fail, but that's true of all the other vaccines, too. They're only something like, 50% effective or whatever. So my vaccine is only about 50% effective, too. Same as the J&J. Let's see. What are you talking about, Ron? I think is procrastination. I suffer from that, too, and so far there is no vaccine for that. But I understand a wife can work as a placebo effect and pretty much have the same effect in solving that problem. Let's see. The other thing, I guess that was it. I wanted to ask who has COVID? I missed that. You dropped that particular understanding that your niece had COVID. Maybe you can say that next time around. I missed that. So this is WW7ATS in Northeast W, and we turn it back to Caitlin at control.
WW7MJ, thanks for that. Yeah, it's ID time again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. That's on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, 87ZYM. So COVID in my family was my son-in-law came down with COVID. And he's had the J&J shot about 3 months ago. But at this point, he's not having any severe reaction to COVID, even though it was diagnosed. So he is a procrastinator about needles. He just doesn't want to have needles stuck into his arm. So he delayed and decided J&J would just be one shot, so he decided to do that one instead. But the rest of the family have had, 3 jabs, and so it's kind of interesting. Procrastinators and, well, I don't know. I have other words for it, but I really can't say it on the radio. And as far as dinner tomorrow, I just got out some salmon, so I think I'm going to do an overdose on salmon tomorrow. So anyway, it won't be getting together with my family, but it'll be an enjoyable meal. So with that, I'll pass it back to Ron. 87 TKU.
Oh my, it's going around fast. KD7QKU here. Well, I wrote it down and then I forgot. Happy birthday, Lee. You must be catching up with me. I think I might be a month or 2 older than you are. I'm not sure. But I was 81 in September. So I don't know how old you are. But I think you're right in there. You and Dave are right in there with me. Well, I just don't have a whole lot to add. I did, put that frame together and put my boat out there. And I was out there the other day, and I think I bought that tarp at Home Depot, and I looked up there, and you could see right through it in a few places. Well, that's not so good. So, it's going to drip a little water. So, I have this, like Scotch tape. It was backing tape that we have. So I'm thinking that if I can get a nice warm dry day, I'll go out there and wipe it off so it's not dusty. And I'll put that Scotch tape on the inside and see if that won't stop it from dripping. So anyway, but it's much better than having the boat set outside. So that's just about all I've been doing is messing with that. I do want to get into the garage this spring and go down there to Habitat for Humanity maybe and get some cabinets and put on the wall, see if I can clean off the bench and empty some of those boxes, put the stuff up in the cabinet so I can use it or see it. not it for this round. Wade just sent me a text. I guess I already said that he was going to an auction with his wife, and he was hoping they wouldn't stay too long, so he thought he might show up a little bit later. So back to that, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, what's transport ambulance? Lee, N7KC. Okay, I should be on. Well, okay, let's be N7KC and where is it? Okay, I missed. When it's resolved misses, just means they poked you and they didn't get anything in the tube. And I think there's a rule about that. I know where Paul works, they had a rule. They miss you twice. If a phlebotomist misses you twice, then they have to call for a supervisor or a doctor to do it, and so forth. And then you're not even guaranteed. Sometimes you can have tough things. Now, the other thing is that they come at you and they haul out the butterfly. That's the one, the tube with the little line on it and the little tiny needle. They're apprehensive. They've tested you and they can't find a really good vein, so the butterfly is the solution for that. But they don't like to use them because the little tiny needle, what does it damages the blood. It can damage the blood corpuscles, and the readings don't come out quite right. So they like big bore needles because there's a name for what it does to the blood. I forget what it is. I used to know. But the butterfly is a sure sign that you're a tough draw, or they think you're going to be. Yeah, Roundup or whatever it was you're using here, it could have been worse. You could have walked through the house. that could have been worse, I don't know. But, my goodness, I had a spot out here. I was putting fertilizer down on my yard a few years ago, and where I was loading the spreader, I should have done it out on a tarp or something, but where I was loading the spreader, apparently some of that fertilizer kept leaking down and getting into it. I was for 3 years getting rid of the good binder and everything that. I watered it every day for 2 years. And finally, I got it flushed clean enough that stuff would grow again. So anyway, I think it could have been worse. Well, I don't have anything else. I'm out of time anyway. So KC, we're here in Port Angeles. Back to you. N7KC. Thanks for that. Let's go to Richard. Okay, well, yes, we're kind of on the topic of grass and lawns and fertilizers and seeds. Excuse me. James in Bellevue I think related a story about someone reseeding their lawn and just a flock of birds showing up and just having a feast. Well, so I've got the same probable scenario, except I don't have a flock of birds. I have, looks like about maybe half a dozen to a dozen birds that are just hanging out underneath the adjacent rhododendron, but they do come out periodically, and they don't. It's not, like I said, it's not a flock. There's just usually maybe 2 or 3 just sitting there pecking away and just taking their time and no big hurry. It's pretty cold, so they don't look all that comfortable. But the birds are eating my seeds. We do have grass coming up and starting to grow. Now, I don't think it's the seeds. I think it's the existing sod that maybe was left behind. But the landscaper was by today looking at it, and he assured
assured Debbie, the YL, who's kind of the general contractor in the situation, that he would take care of her and that not to be concerned, and went on and on and on, and didn't ask for any money today. So he's a pretty nice guy, and I've been watching for the birds, but no, just a few of them, and the ones that show up seem friendly enough that I don't mind. They're not pigging out and ruining anything. So, but yeah, it's just too cold. However, the sun seems to kind of bring out the life, and whatever's there is there, and so something was growing, and it looks a lot better than what we had before, that's for sure. So goodbye to dandelions for at least the time being. KD7ZIM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. Again, another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, going down the list, let's go to Covington, to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, let's see. Jim, thank you for pointing out that vaccines can fail. I like your concept. I may have to take you up on that, or at the very least, maybe right after the net, I will go home and see if I can immunize myself. That was a good thought. Thanks. And also, Jim, I have a suggestion regarding the flock of birds that come up and start eating your grass seed. The solution to that is firecrackers. Don't know how the neighbors will tolerate that, but nowadays, if people hear bangs, it's like no one pays any attention to it anymore. It's crazy. I don't know. And let's see, Ron, I have a suggestion on the tarp. Sorry about the tarp. I do not have any experience with this, but they advertise on television a product called Flex Tape, and that they show people putting it over like aquariums, and it stops the water from leaking, and holes in boats and all that stuff. And I've seen it available, I think, even in 4-inch widths. So probably Home Depot would have that. Maybe Lowe's, maybe, I don't know if McClenson's is down in Tacoma, probably not. But anyway, I would think that if what you have may not work, maybe the Flex Tape would if you can get your hands on some. Good luck with that. KD7ZYM and 7QO.
N7QO, let's go to James in Bellevue, WU7N.
Well, thank you, Jim, for I've not heard of Flex Tape. I'll have to look into that. But you did remind me, I have some very inexpensive hiking boots that I bought. They're quite comfortable. And eventually you just toss them because they just wear out. But the latest set I got exactly what I paid for. The sole is coming off of front. I can re-glue the sole and see if I can get an extra few months before I toss it. Yet another example in my life of getting exactly what I paid for. I hate it when that happens. The bangs, you have to wait plus or minus a month of 4th of July, and I don't think anybody cares about bangs in King County. I read something on the internet that now in LA, if you actually get caught shooting a gang member, you just mail a fine in with a ticket. You don't actually have to go to court or anything now, but I don't know if that's true. I just read it on the internet. Well, vaccines fail. Okay, so, yeah, that's true. But seatbelts and brakes fail occasionally, and I still use them. So I don't mean to, I'm not down on vaccines. But when I go to the tetanus vaccine, I don't run out and look for a big middle towels, rusty nails to go stab myself with. And it does kind of bother me a little bit, but back when we were having the people get the vaccine, and suddenly they're just like magically immune. I'm not quite sure it works that well. I still thought washing your hands and keeping your distance was a good thing to do. But I don't know. People have to return to normal state. Lee, thank you for the thing on blood damage. I didn't know that. I always wondered why they didn't use smaller gauge needles, because smaller gauge needles hurt less than a larger gauge needle. I didn't know you could actually damage the little corpuscles or whatever in there and mess up the test. I had no idea. So I learned something tonight. Let's see, the other thing I was going to mention about lawns is kind of amazing that we do so much to maintain our lawns, but yet this year supposedly there's going to be a fertilizer shortage because of the natural gas shortage. And I just read that. It has been reflected somewhat in some stock prices of companies that sell fertilizer. But here's the other interesting thing that I learned, is that propane is the fuel used to dry out wheat. And I don't remember this as a kid. There was obviously a lot of wheat in North Texas. And I can imagine how you would build a machine to do this. But with the price of propane going up, you have to dry out the wheat. Of course, you learn that, or it'll rot. Just like anything else, you put it wet in a container, it will grow mold and rot. And then that was ERGO2, I think how it's spelled, was the big wheat. But because all the prices of various fuels are going up, and natural gases, and that natural gas is used to make fertilizer, but I just learned that propane was the fuel of choice for drying out wheat. So, I don't know. But if we do someday, perhaps instead of growing our lawns, we'll all grow wheat in our front lawns and then, harvest it. I think we'll have to have bigger lawns to make that worth our while, but maybe not. This is James, WW7ATS in Northeast W. Let me turn it back to Dave for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
Thank you with that, James. This is Dave, KD7YM, Lake City. And for grass seed, I found a number of years ago when I was reseeding grass, the birds were eating it. They were eating the seeds. So then I put a light covering of peat moss over the seeds. And that seemed to keep the birds in hand. So that worked for me. I don't know if it works for other people, but it was neat as the grass started to grow and germinate. It would push up the peat moss. And it was kind of interesting that you'd have this sort of sheet of brown stuff that was coming up in globs on the lawn when the grass decided to germinate. And I think the peat moss is being dark also was a solar event where the seeds germinated, heated them up and made them go good. So that was it. And for the lawn, the Scotch tape, I forget the tape, just drink the Scotch. And then worry about the rest. I still think you can get some webbing from any one of the hardware stores for lawn furniture. The 2-inch wide webbing is available for lawn chair repairs. You could use that to stretch over the frame. I'm sure that would work. So with that, this is Dave, KD7CYM, and we'll move back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU here. Well, I looked at Amazon, and that tape webbing to repair lawn chairs is kind of expensive. I'm kind of cheap, so I didn't want to spend the money for it. So I'm going to use some cheap polypropylene or whatever it is rope. You can get 100 feet for $10, and I'm going to string it in between. Lee might not know what I'm talking about. So I put that pipe frame together in the. It has a ridge, and then it has, I would call it rafters, and they're 4 feet apart. So the tarp has a tendency to droop between the rafters, and then the rain accumulates in the pockets. I have to go out and push it, but it drains, and I thought this is a newer tarp, and I thought before it got stretched, I could put some rope across to help support it, so it'll be on like 2-foot centers. Let's see how that works. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a cheap tarp. Down there at McLennan's, they wanted $62.50 for same size tarp. I thought that was a little bit expensive for a plastic tarp. I guess you call them plastic. And Harbor Freight. I must have got this one at Harbor Freight. I know I had two of them. This looks like it was in the best condition, but apparently not. But it's just got a few thin spots in it. I think, like I say, that Jim, that I've seen that tape advertised on the TV that you were talking about, where they patch holes and everything. I think the guy patched a hole in his boat or something. Screen wear or something. And I don't know. But anyway, yeah, but I think it's expensive too. I think the tape I have, I'll try that first. It's just, like big Scotch tape that you put on boxes when they move, and I have it in a big dispenser thing with a handle. So I'll just go out and wipe the dust off. It's real sticky and probably do the trick. And if it does leak a little bit, no big deal, because I have a cover over the boat anyway. Better than it just staying right out in all the rain. Okay, I think we're kind of getting down to the end here. Back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, Ron, thanks for that. Let's go to Lee, Wind 7KC and Port Angeles.
Okay, I think you're underway now. Okay, I thought of the word. It's called hemolysis. Hemolysis. And that's the destruction of red blood cells and so forth. And it has to do with turbulence and the rate of flow and stuff. And so the bigger the bore, the less the problem that is. So when somebody's in trouble, they go for the butterfly every time. It's just a little tiny thing. But they have to do it really, really slowly, so that they don't get a lot of turbulence. And that's hard to control because, those are vacuum cleaners that they plug in there. They're evacuated and they suck the blood in. So, I have a couple of hemocytometers here. I've got a bright line and so forth. So what I'll do is I'll get around again. I'll try to show you that these are things that you put on a microscope. This one's called a bright line hemocytometer. And before the days of automated color counters, where they automated the blood chemistry measurements, a technician would put some blood on a hemocytometer. It has little cells in it, so it has a known track volume. So they had one of those little clicker things in your hand, how you hit it with your thumb and it pumps up the numbers. So they look in the microscope and they go cell by cell and they count the red blood cells in it. It's a known volume, so they can compute statistically what the red blood cell count is. And they used to do it visually under a microscope, but now it's all automated, They just run it through a machine that does it all. So I've collected some of that stuff over the years. And I used to really be into that. Oh well. I'm on time again, and it won't come around to me again, so 7-3, guys. Very interesting, a lot of fun, always is. So, we'll see you after the net. And 7-3 feedback to you, Dave.
Let's go to Richard K7, ITX.
I may have experienced in recent history where my blood got fouled up by improper handling. I had a potassium reading go off the charts, and it was erroneous. I was talking to Dr. Howe why that would happen when other aspects of the blood draw seemed to be normal, and he said that he thought that the potassium was more affected by rough handling,
And it really surprised me when he said that, because then I told him, well, yes, they dropped after they drew my blood, they dropped the specimen on the floor in the tube and quickly picked it up. And I thought that was kind of odd that they would drop it in the first place. But then I didn't think much of it. It was all self-contained. It was just in a test tube and sealed and all that. So, but for crying out loud, it's pretty incredible how sensitive our blood cells are. Let's see. Oh yeah, what else caught my attention? Yeah, reference to that flex tape or flex seal. Now, I've seen the commercials too, and if you believe everything you see on that commercial, especially that boat situation, where this boat's leaking like a sieve, literally. I mean, it's about to be swamped, and so they dump out the water, and then they put Flex Seal all over it, and then they go out in the bay and start fishing like there's no tomorrow. So, I don't know if you can believe that. That's fine, but you got to remember the guy selling it. They're cut from the same cloth as Ron Popeil, Vegematic, or whatever that was. And then, of course, Billy Mays, bless his heart, he's passed away. He's pretty famous for hawking things, late night info commercials. And his brother, I guess, does it now all the time. Ron, you might go to the Puyallup Fair. The Puyallup Fair, the spring fair is open. I'll bet you they got stuff for sale there that probably will work just fine. It might even be better than Flex Tape. So, okay, well, it's down to the wire here, and I'm holding up the fort. So I'll say 73 to everybody, and we'll pass it back to KD7ZYM. Back to net control.
K7 ICX, this is go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Dick, they dropped the blood sample, man. I sure wouldn't want to get stuck twice, so I kind of would go with it's fine myself. And about the guy in the boat, you're saying? You know what? I'll bet the guy in the boat was immunized by the way Jim was saying. That's just my 2 cents on that. And Jim, there's a product which I used. I don't remember where I got it, but it's a little tube of something similar to RTV. It's actually called shoe glue for sticking on the sole back onto your boot. Can't tell you anything more about it. I'll see if I can find a tube around here and email you if I can find any info on that. But that's what I got. Anyway, back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, let's go to James. Finish up the next this evening. WW7ATS.
Oh my goodness, Richard, someone dropping your sample. I guess that's better than an oops when you're under twilight medication during surgery, isn't it? Or maybe, the resident's working on you and the surgeon says, no, just get out of the way, let me do it. Could be worse, but sorry about that one. I went to mail tonight. I guess I remember my dad doing that. He had to do that. You had to count 20 grids. He was explaining to me, and then count them up and average them. But I think that is called Hauser slide. After people that invented Am I still the audience still coming through? Okay, well,
I'll wrap it up here. Looks like we're getting to the top of the hour, so this is James WW7ATS. Let's turn it back to Dave for the wrap-up of Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WW7ATS, James, thanks for that. And we'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine, the Seattle Repeaters Association, letting us use 147.08 repeater WW7STR for a voice transmission for a net held on Saturdays and Wednesdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So with that, I'll terminate the net at 9 o'clock. This is Dave, 87 CYM, on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.